Well, before you went in, you had multiple kids.
Right,
You had Hakeem Robinson, aka Ksoo,
right,
Abdul Robinson Jr., aka Krazy K,
right.
and you had a stepson named Willie Addison Jr., aka Boss Goon.
Right,
Now, not your biological kid, but you raised him since he was 3 months old.
right.
Other kids as well?
Oh yeah.
Okay. How many more kids? Well, how many total kids did you have when you got locked up?
When I got locked up, I had like 9.
Okay. So no condoms, no pulling out. You were just doing your thing.
No, I ain't wasting no nut.
Okay. So you do your 11 years. You get out at age 40 in 2011. And you get reintroduced to your kids who at this point are wild.
Wow. Wild is an understatement.
Okay, explain.
Well, when I got out, I have another son. He was doing his thing too, and they was into all kind of shit, And before I went to prison, I could walk down my grandmother's street. When I got out of prison and I came to my grandmother's house, and I was walking down the street, and they was like, "Daddy, you can't do that no more." I say, "What? I can't walk down my grandma's street?" They said, "No, you can't do that no more. It's a whole lot going on that you don't know." So, shit, I listened to them, and I got off the street. Simple as that, And they was into a lot of things that I don't want to really mention, but it immediately put my life in danger. Just by me being their father, by me having a reputation, I had to move a whole different way. I had to adjust everything in my life, because what I didn't realize is that they were already the man who they was gonna be at that young age. Smoking cigarettes, getting high, doing their thing. Like Ksoo wasn't smoking cigarettes, getting high, but he was doing this little petty crimes and things like that.
Well, right around 2017, Fulio's cousin Zion Brown gets killed. And they say this is the start of the ATK KTA beef.
I'm not too familiar with that situation personally, just from things that I heard. And I don't really think that Ace was really, really hanging on our side that much when that situation happened, or with his homeboy, with that situation, whatever happened. I don't have that much knowledge on that situation, so I can't really get into that situation.
Fair enough. But this is essentially what people are saying.
Right.
Right around that time, that murder set off a bad chain of events. Now, you actually knew Fulio's mom.
Yeah. I knew her real
Okay.
good. Like, I knew her personally, like really personally.
Right. Because from then, things started to escalate. Now, you being the older dad, did you ever try to talk to your kids about, listen, like this is going to end badly, people need to really settle down, or you had to get out the way?
Well, I think before I came home, blood had already been shedded. And I couldn't really step in the middle of that to try to stop what was going on, because things was going it was already gone so far, or whatever was going on. It was just gone so far. And in a sense, I ain't gonna say that I'm not gonna say that my son and Fulio, not Ksoo, but Krazy K and Boss Goon, they kind of like, they almost like cousins, because Fulio got some sisters that his sisters is my son and them cousins for real. So I think that they might have been all right at one time, until once my son and them really got affiliated with Ace. That's when when you pick a side, you on that side. That's just simple as that.
Well, yeah, because in 2018, a shooting happened where Yungeen Ace was shot 8 times and 3 people in the car were killed, including his brother Trayvon Bullard, as well as Jacoby Grover and Royale Devon Smith Jr. All three of them were killed. Yungeen Ace survived, but he saw a very gruesome situation.
Right.
And you actually met Ace after that shooting.
Right. That's when I started seeing Ace come around. He started coming to my house, you know, things of that nature right there.
Okay, what you think about Ace?
Ace a good dude, you know, and I always felt like his situation was too much for him. I think Ace might have been like 20, 22 or 23. And Ace a good dude. Me and Ace had a conversation one time, and he told me, he said, man, they say, everybody say I'm just like you know. I never say no, you know, I never say no. I do this and do that.
So people say that your sons Ksoo and Krazy K were the muscles for ATK.
Well, Ace had to come over there to that side. He was running with some dudes from out west. They weren't strong enough for that situation. So he had to move to that side. Ksoo and Krazy K, they made it where ATK can move around the world like how they move around the world. When you go to ATK, they respect Ksoo. They respect Krazy K. So they gotta respect Ace because them his homeboys. If it ain't for them, ATK fool in the world. Period.
Okay, what does ATK stand for? Because when I asked Yungeen Ace, he wouldn't tell me. And ATK stands for?
And let's see that meaning. See, one thing about ATK, nobody know the meaning of ATK.
Okay.
Nobody know. I got the whole world screaming ATK. But
is it a secret? Or?
Yeah, it's a secret. Nobody know.
All right.
Nobody know. Nobody know what it means. It don't mean no violent. It don't mean. It's like it's something behind some other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So nobody know what it means.
I don't know.
Okay. I'll leave it at that.
I know this much though. I know that Ace didn't start that. Krazy K,
your son
Krazy K started that. And I tried to tell Krazy K to get his paperwork, do all his business side of it, but he trusted in Ace. I'm not speaking bad on Ace, but when you the head of a situation, you got to take care of everything under that situation properly.